Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with the fourth layout using my stash kit number 3, and I didn't realize this was my fourth layout. I actually thought I had done more, to be honest with you, but this is actually the fourth one that I'm making with this kit. And so as you can see, this layout is very photo heavy. So I had 5 4x6 photos, and I took the 2 4x6 photos on the middle row, I trimmed them down a little bit, and then I cut them in half, and I'm actually going to put those on 3x4 cards now, and they're not going to have the white border like the regular 4x6 photos do, which I'm totally fine with. But what I am going to do to make it seem a little less busy is the 2 3x4 pockets on the left will be in pink tones, very similar pink tones but different patterns, and then the 2 3x4 pockets on the right side are going to be on cards that are in more neutral tones like gray or black and white, or gray and black and white. That's exactly what they end up being. So the only card that I'm really kind of being a little bit more creative with is the 4x6 pocket on the bottom left. And I'm going to use this as a bit of a title card, but also just a place for me to do a little bit of journaling. I will, of course, embellish the rest of the layout, but that's primarily where a lot of my decoration is going to be focused. So I pulled out the 6x6 pad to find some papers to use for that bottom 4x6 pocket, and then I also pulled out some 3x4 cards from the Studio Calico cards that are already in my stash kit to pull out some pink toned cards as well as some gray toned cards, as you can see right here. Now this layout is a little bit more on the simplistic side. I felt like it took me just as long to complete though, because I was going through a lot of different embellishments, and I do add a lot. They're just a little bit more small in scale and a little bit more simplified. So true to my normal fashion, I kind of have to keep my desk clean. Well, actually, it's not really my normal fashion, because normally my desk ends up being a total wreck at the end of it. Now you can't always see it on the screen, but I have a nice little halo of a mess around the edge of my desk. I just know exactly what you can see in the screen and what you can't see in the screen, and I take advantage of the spots that you cannot see. One of these days, I'm just going to take a photo of my desk and be like, yeah, so here's the computer screen or the camera screen, and this is what you can see, and then this is the mountain of mess around it that you can't see. I'll have to remember to do that, because that's usually what it ends up being. Now, the very first thing I did to this bottom 4x6 pocket was to cut up a 4x6 card that was in the stash kit. It was a Studio Calico card, and it just said memo, and then I had currently with a name and a date. So I cut out that. It was in gray and white. So I cut that out and make it kind of a small border at the bottom of the 4x6 card, and then I am going to do just a little bit of journaling on there, plus I will embellish that area as well. So I'm going to go ahead and stick down my 3x4 card photos to these 3x4 cards and kind of start there. Now, because I cut the single photo into 2 parts, I'm just going to line up those 3x4 cards directly beside each other. And it was actually really simple to trim down these photos, and this is the reason why I chose these photos to be in the 3x4 pockets versus those top 2 photos or the bottom photo. There is a lot more going on in the 2 photos at the very top, and then there's also a lot going on in the bottom photo down to the right. Now the photos in the middle row though, this was after my littlest nephew's baby shower, and since it was the second child for my sister, we just did like a meet and greet kind of shower after he was born, so all of the close friends and family could come just kind of celebrate with us, enjoy seeing the family, but also be able to see my nephew after he was born. I think it was when was the date? This was April, and he was born in February. So he was about 6 weeks old, I believe, at the time. So it was actually a really nice age, because he wasn't so tiny. People could still hold him and pass him around. But it also gave my sister and my brother-in-law a little bit of time to adjust to having that second child, and also to recover from the birth. So what we're doing though is we are sitting outside. So we had like a little family get together and had the shower, and then of course I was down at my mom's house with Kaylin, and that's about 3 hours away from where we live. So every time we come down, we usually get together with the rest of with my sisters and their families for at my mom's house for like a cookout or dinner or something like that. And that's exactly what we're doing here. This is after everything was over, the party was over, we had cleaned up, we were all just enjoying the beautiful weather outside. So now what I have done, and I skipped over it all so you didn't have to watch me do it because it probably took me about 15 minutes. I went through my pile of supplies in my stash kit. And one of the things that I have in my stash kit is this little like bucket or cup thing that you hang. It's from IKEA and it's supposed to be meant to be hanging on a rod, but I hang it on the edge of my Rascog, and I think I have 8 of them that hang off my Rascog, and so I've just used it in this stash kit to hold all of my die cuts that I had gotten from my little color sorted die cut bins that I keep. And that is what this nice little pile of supplies are right here on the bottom left of the screen. It's just a bunch of die cuts, and I'm going to start kind of rifling through them and figure out if I want to use any of them on this layout. Now, I just pulled out a bunch of different things that could potentially work, and as you can see, as I sort through them very quickly, I'm able to say, okay, I like this, I like this, I like this, I don't like this, nope, wrong color, and so on and so forth. So the pile that I'm making at the top of the screen is the reject pile. That's the one that has the wrong tones or the wrong sentiments or something like that. And so it's totally rejected up here at the very top. Now the pile that's kind of to the left, I don't think I'm going to use, but they're still contenders. So if I find something or I need a little bit of something, I know that I could still go to that little pile to the left and find something that matches. Just that top pile is a total no, reject. And I don't know what my bottom pile was there. I don't know. I think I just started making extra piles, but originally that's what my idea was. This pile to the left is definitely my potential pile. Probably not, but potentials. So the bottom pile here is actually a reject pile now that I'm watching myself. So I am recording this, just so you know, on Friday night. This video will go live tomorrow, which is Saturday, and I want to give all of my viewers that are in the Florida area, or if you happen to live in the Bahamas or Cuba or Puerto Rico or anything like that, I hope you are safe. I hope you are well. And also anyone who's in the Houston area still, if you are struggling with any damage to your home, I wish you all wonderful thoughts and well wishes, and I hope you are safe, or that you are able to get somewhere safe, and that you're just able to recover quickly from any damage that you are suffering from the hurricanes that have been coming through our area in the last couple weeks. So Hurricane Irma, depending on where you are, could be hitting you at the point that this video goes live tomorrow. So I just want to make sure that you all know that you are all in my thoughts. I have a lot of family in Florida, so I'm keeping a really close eye on this hurricane because my grandmother lives in Florida. I have a lot of family members that live in Florida. We live in North Carolina, and so does all of my immediate family lives in North Carolina on both my side, and my husband's side, but the rest of his family lives in the New York area. So they're very far away from the hurricane at this point, but I've just been really tracking the storms that have been coming through, because I definitely have family in areas that are or can be affected by a lot of the storms that we end up having. So I just want you all to know that I'm thinking of you, and that I hope you are well and safe as well. So back to the layout, I'm just doing some embellishing. I used the alphas that were in my kit to spell out fun and games. So what we're doing is we're just hanging out outside playing. The top is just pictures of my brother-in-law Dennis playing with Kaylin and Walter. They were playing badminton, I believe. And then there's a picture, and the 2 pictures in the middle are of my brother-in-law Eric and my sister Jill, and they're playing cornhole, and they were playing each other, as you could see. Jill's down the hill by one cornhole board, and I'm closer to Eric at the other cornhole board. Wow, that is hard to say. And then the photo at the very bottom is of everyone else in the family. Well, another picture of the family. It's got my sister holding her baby. It's got my mom. It's got my other nephew in the little baby swing. And then my brother-in-law Dennis, again, pushing his son in the baby swing. So it's got everyone in these photos except for me, which is kind of funny, but that's typically how we scrapbookers like to do things. We like to hide behind the cameras, not intentionally, but we end up being behind the camera most of the time. But I just wanted to kind of capture this day because it was a really beautiful day in April. And what my journaling is going to end up saying, I'm going to use one of these little tickets to write my journaling on. And it says, after spending the day celebrating at Warren's meet and greet party, we spent a few hours outside playing with all the boys, big and little, because it's got my brother-in-laws and then all of our kids. And then it says, under the currently, I put currently at Grandma's house, April 2016. And I am using that Happy Day vellum. I was going to call it acetate. It's not acetate. Vellum piece that says Happy Day. I just thought it was a really pretty soft pink, and it matches with a lot of the different pink elements that I'm using on this layout. Now, because it has the gold detailing on it, that is why I use that pink banner in the top right that has the pink banner with the gold hearts. It kind of looks a little bit brown or craft colored on the cameras, but they are actually gold hearts. So it ties in. The top right has a gold element and the bottom left has a gold element. And I did not include a third gold element on this layout, but it does create a very nice diagonal from the title card all the way down to the journaling card. And then the rest of the pockets are all just embellished normally. And the photos with my, oops, there goes my pen. The photos with my brother-in-law and my sister playing cornhole, the way that I had cut or trimmed the photos, I made sure that I could have both of them on either side of the photo and then just trim around, like trim straight down the middle, and it wouldn't be cutting off anything out of the photo. It's just basically really truly just trimmed through the grass in the photo itself. I did also put two tabs on two of the cards. The top left card has a little tab that says 2 big boys, and the bottom right card has a tab that says 2 babies. So it's got the 2 oldest grandsons, Kaylin and Walter, in the top photos, and it's got the 2 youngest grandsons, Warren and Finn, in the bottom photo. And you can't even really see the babies, but they're there. You can see my sister holding one, and then my brother-in-law pushing the other, but you can't see their faces or anything like that. But I do have other photos from this same day that are going to be scrapbooked that have closer photos of both of those nephews. I've got these little black gemstones that I am putting, just kind of embellishing around, making some little clusters. And then I'm going to pull out my little Tim Holtz word sticker book, and I'm going to add a few word strips to a few different places. And I did add one more bit of journaling on that label, one of the 3x4 pockets right in the middle, and it just says testing out the cornhole set in a family competition. We did a whole bunch of different rounds of cornhole with different people being on different teams, and this was kind of just a photo of that. And I did use that right here die cut to span across the 2 cards in the center on that middle row. Okay, so I pulled out 3 word strips. One says, "This is what family looks like." The second one says, "Collect beautiful moments." And then the third one says, "Find joy in the ordinary." And the one that says, "Find joy in the ordinary" is going to go down here on the Happy Day card. And I did embellish a while ago with that little doodle bug design beetle black mini paper clip, which I think is just adorable. Like, I can't get enough of those little paper clips. I wish I had bought more. I will eventually buy more once I totally run out, but I absolutely love them. I think they're just so cool. I thought about putting that word strip up here, but it was just too much, and I ended up moving it down to that memo card. But only after I stuck it down, because that's how we do things. We stick things down, and then we move it. But if it was something that wasn't sticky, it would have been exactly where I put it the first time. So anyways, that finishes this layout. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please stay safe, and I hope you are enjoying your weekend. All right, bye.